Hello, hello, and welcome back to Prehistoric Kingdom for a hopefully significantly shorter episode where we will be creating our Ouranosaurus's enclosure and making it a lot nicer for these poor fellas. So, let's get started. Already got the base work done, so this will just mostly be about decorating everything. So, they like the wetland, they like the coast, grassland, tropics. And that's what we have to work. Why are you running into the poles? Alright. Anyways, but before I do any of that, I want to give them some housing, which I'd like their bedding to be underneath the... Shut up. I'd like their bedding to be under the platform, just so that they are more incentivized to be near where the guests are more likely to see them. And I'm also gonna really quickly Alright, so now that that's happened, let me start to add some of the foliage. Now, I'm thinking the... Oh, shame I can't use those. Yeah, making pretty similar enclosure to the previous two. So, acacias and all the fun stuff that we had in the previous episodes. And yeah, it's gonna be simple. Like, I'm not gonna pretend otherwise. This is probably going to be the shortest video in the series. At least I hope. Because of how much time and effort was spent on that previous episode. I would be very okay if this episode was a lot shorter. Like, you know, nothing wrong with making a shorter video for an animal that, is not my personal favorite. Gotta be honest. I mean, I like Ouranosaurus. It's a cool animal. It's just, it's never been in my top 10 or top 20. But I do really like it. Like, I think it's a really cool, it's a cool creature. Like, let's not kid ourselves. If it weren't like a cool animal, it wouldn't be in so much different like things. Like, so I feel like you know, just I want to make sure that this thing gets its own video so that I can, you know, highlight it a little more properly instead of it being at the very end of an incredibly long video. Where are my beloved ferns? I did mention before how excited I am for the paleo plants, or the paleo, yeah, I guess the paleo plant life that they're going to be adding in an update in the not too distant future. And that has not changed, because, you know, I love how this game looks and feels, but I cannot lie and say that I like the plant selection. That is a thing that I think makes this game not as strong as Jurassic World Evolution, is the lack of the paleontological plants, or the prehistoric plant life. Like, you're able to make some amazing looking exhibits in this game. But the lack of prehistoric plants really holds it back. At least in my opinion. Like, in Jurassic World Evolution, there is prehistoric plant life, and it's a pain in the ass to work with, don't get me wrong. Because of how Jurassic World Evolution's decoration system is, for some reason they decided not to include the paleobotany plants. But the fact that they're even in the game in the first place, forgive me, I had to sneeze for a second. The fact that they're even in the game in the first place gives it a bit of an edge over Prehistoric Kingdom when it comes to making appropriate exhibits. Whereas this game, you can make the best looking exhibits. In Jurassic World Evolution, you can make exhibits that, you know, your animals actually can live in. I'm not going to do that. Get some dead trees for the sake of our deserty aesthetic. And I'm going to add a little bit of elevation to some of these areas, I think. A lot of sticks. Now, let me get the... What was the color I had on the Spinosaurus rocks? Alright, let me get some of these colder rocks. Yeah, I'm very excited for as this game continues to update, because it's a good game, and I like to see it thrive, and I like that, I like the scientific nature of it, or the more scientifically accurate focus, because I think that that's something that is sorely lacking in a lot of dinosaur-specifically related media, is I guess both a respect and an understanding for paleontology. And that's why it's so good to have a game that is accessible for both, you know, bigger paleontology fans as well as the people who are like just, you know, casual I like dinosaur fans. Which, granted, this is a more low-key, like, most of this is targeted towards paleo fans. But, oh, I don't have enough trees? What? And I definitely don't have enough water. Okay. But yeah, no, this is definitely a game that is targeted towards people who like paleontology. So, of course, it's going to be a more paleontology-focused game. I'm going to add some depth to the water. You specifically make it deeper here. So it's like kind of a flooded area here. How about now? Okay, now there's enough water. Still need more forest. But yeah, no, I like the fact that this game is accessible for both paleontology fans as well as just like, well, I mean, I guess it's all paleontology fans, but I like how it is not a game that, you know, as long as you like dinosaurs, you'll have a good time playing. Like, you can, if you like tycoon games and you like dinosaurs, this is, I believe, the best one that there is. Like, if you like these, like, I don't care about Jurassic World Evolution's management system. I've heard people say that that's, like, their main, like, reason for playing it, and that it's a park management game. And, oh, Jurassic World Evolution 2 had a terrible campaign. It's like, the Jurassic World Evolution campaign, like, the first one, was tedious as all hell, and was absolutely awful to play. Like, it's not like I'm asking for a compelling story in a tycoon game, but, like, the story was just annoying more than anything else. And I'm sure Evolution 3 is going to have a better story, but I still, like, I have never gone back to play the campaign of either game because of just how absolutely annoying and, like, tedious they are. Like, the sandbox is all I play because it's just, that's what I come to these kinds of games for, is for the sandbox experience. And, like, having to go through, like, 20 hours of tedium just to get to the sandbox is just, it's just not fun. And I would, if they released Jurassic World Evolution 3 and the campaign was completely optional and you could skip right into challenge mode or skip right into sandbox mode, I'd be happy. Because of just how annoying it is. Like, it's like, oh, you want to make anything in sandbox mode? You have to play through some of the most abysmal dog shit of a campaign. It's just so unpleasant. Because that's just the nature of it. It's like, you get barely any resources, and the Jurassic World Evolution 1 version, terrain constraints made it so that building was such a nuisance. Like, you couldn't really do anything. You couldn't do anything, like, too well because of how confined you were, because of, it's the campaign, you know, you gotta earn all the stuff. I mean, I'm hoping it's not as annoying as Jurassic World Evolution 1. Because the Jurassic World Evolution 2 one was basically the tutorial. You got to learn the mechanics of the game. And, you know, it was like, it's a good excuse for you to play the tutorial. But, it's still annoying. And that's why that's the thing that I am liking about Prehistoric Kingdom, is I don't have to play a tutorial campaign. Like, I think there is a franchise mode, correct me if I'm wrong, but I just, yeah, no, I would much prefer just to never play it, because I like just being able to hop into sandbox, not worry about the management aspect, and just, like, play. Because, like, that's what I come to these kinds of games for, is just to play them. And, like, Zoo Tycoon 1 from 2003-ish, I want to say. It also, like, there was no sandbox mode. However, this game still gave you a good chunk of stuff at the very start. like, as soon as you started playing the game, you had... There we go. As soon as you started playing the game, you had a large variety of creatures, as well as... you had a good amount of creatures alongside, like, building stuff, so that when you played the game, it wasn't complete hell. Okay, so this desert area is a bit desert, bare. I'm thinking I like them. Okay, let me... Oh, wrong button. Check if they're able to get there. If I can find them. Okay, they still can access the desert. Yeah, no. So, yeah, no, that's kind of my one issue and my one kind of gripe with this third evolution game is that, once again, gonna have to play the campaign mode, which I have always found kind of annoying, just because they're never great. They're never great campaigns. That's not the fault of Frontier. It's just I don't care. They're such I don't care kinds of like those kinds of I just couldn't care. I'm not a huge fan of the fence selection, I'm not gonna lie. Here's what I'll do. I think this is what our... Yeah, this will be the limit. This will be where the path goes around. Why are they complaining about dirtiness in their enclosure? Yeah, this will be where the path goes around, so the audience can only see it from these angles here. There's a bit of decoration work that I should do around here, but I think I'm going to do that off camera. Alright, so I think that is going to have to do it for this episode of Prehistoric Kingdom. So let's take a nice good look at our Ouranosauruses. So, from the Burger Palace. I think this is a nice shot. There we have it. Ouranosaurus enclosure has been made. I once again would like to absolutely adore the lighting in this game, as well as the photo mode. And yeah, I think that's going to have to be it for me for today's episode. Thank you all so much for joining me. This has been a very, very long episode, or a very long recording session for me, whereas this episode's probably going to be very short, probably the shortest in the series. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you all in the next episode.